Hi there, it's Dan here from Flexxable. Today we're going to talk about Facebook ads and Instagram ads and when to use each of them. Let's get stuck in. Okay, so Facebook acquired Instagram way back in 2012. The reason they did that is because obviously Instagram they could see was up and coming. It had a massive user base, and it's just another way to be able to get more traffic to your offers. All right, it was a clever move by Facebook because it meant that inside your Facebook Business Manager, once they acquired them, you had the ability to be able to advertise to Facebook platform and also the Instagram platform within the same Business Manager, which meant the same pixels, the same events, same everything. All right, and when you're, a lot of you will know when you're creating your campaigns in Facebook at the moment, you have the option to be able to select all placements, all right? And we would recommend always doing that to start so you can see what's working and what isn't working, so you can see if the traffic's working on Facebook versus what's happening on Instagram. And then when you've got some data and you're able to make decisions off the back of that. All right, so let's start with Facebook ads. So it is still, in my opinion, probably the fastest and easiest way to get going with ads where you can come in and get some cheap leads out of the gate, all right? And this has been proven time and time again for us. For example, we just launched some ads the other day for Flexxable. We hadn't been advertising in a little while, and our cost per lead immediately came in under our kind of target. We're able to get going quickly. The quality of the lead, we're making sales already from it, and it's relatively easy to kind of get set up and get going, all right? What I would say is that for the first time ever, the audience and the daily users in the Facebook platform is declining. I think we saw Facebook's share price, it's early 2022 now, take a massive hit, and there is stuff going on inside Facebook that we need to be aware of. Saying that though, it's still a really good place to advertise. The age bracket of people that are using the platform is definitely a little bit older now. We see the likes of TikTok and other kind of ad platforms coming up through the market with a younger audience. But what I would say is that, it's still a great audience, and obviously with age, my demographic, early 40s, probably over 30 actually, they've got a little bit more money and a little bit more to spend on whatever services you're advertising. So it's still a great platform to advertise with. So the Facebook newsfeed still is and has always been a really great place to advertise. You're able to easily get some image ads up, some video ads up, some instant experience, some carousel. All of these type of ads that you see in the Facebook newsfeed on mobile is really great, and it will continue to be. Not to mention all of the tracking and everything that Facebook has. The targeting, the ability to segment out, the demographics, all of that's still fantastic in Facebook. They've lost a little bit of tracking after people make the click and you leave and go onto your website. But, if you're clever about it, and we've got some, I think my videographer will be able to put a link to kind of setting up your Facebook tracking up here right now. And if you manage to do that, then you're going to do very well in the Facebook newsfeed on mobile. Saying that, you should definitely, once you get some data in and when you've gone broad with your targeting and gone after all placements, if you start seeing some really great results on Instagram, you should consider splitting stuff out and going after an Instagram only campaign. I'll start talking about that in a sec. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Instagram now. So, back in the day when Facebook first acquired Instagram, we saw, very cheap kind of CPMs and clicks, but quality and conversion wasn't exactly where we needed it to be. And as things have matured over the years, we've seen actually recently that Instagram is even more expensive than the Facebook mobile news feed, all right? And that could be for a variety of different reasons, because the audience is probably younger as well, so we need to take that into consideration. But the number one thing and point that I'm trying to get across here is that if you are going to give Instagram a go with your advertising, you need to make sure that you you kind of make bespoke ads that are applicable to the Instagram platform. For example, Instagram stories. If you're seeing a Facebook kind of newsfeed ad over in Instagram stories and you kind of click and you can't, you can't go back, then it's not obviously going to be as good as if you have an Instagram story which has got 3 kind of slides in it and you're able to kind of click forward and back. The point I'm trying to drive home is that you really need to make sure that if you are going to go after Instagram, you need to understand what the user's doing, how they're using Instagram, how they're scrolling, what that looks like, and then create creatives that match what they're doing and work specifically for Instagram. Obviously, Instagram is extremely visual, so you need your creatives to be visual too. All right, so if we look at what my recommendations are for getting started with Instagram ads and Facebook ads, and being able to combine both, it would be to start with a typical newsfeed, mobile newsfeed type ad, and then you start collecting some data on what happens after that. All right, and it could be that you've got a kind of standard cost per lead across the board on Instagram and Facebook. In that case, you want to make a decision whether you just want to ramp it up if it's at a good cost per lead and you don't have to worry too much about it. But what you might see is that after you've selected all placements and it's automatic placements, and you can see that the news feed's doing pretty well, or it's kind of within ballpark of where you want to be, and then you just have a look at the stats within Instagram and you can see that it's just not good at all. Then what I would recommend doing is breaking out those campaigns and having either a kind of Instagram only campaign or a placement only campaign where you're able to create specific ads for the Instagram network. All right, and one thing that we have found through our testing is that Instagram and Facebook stories, you can have the same format of ads for both platforms. So you could create a kind of story-based campaign and then a Facebook mobile newsfeed type campaign and split it out that way. It's kind of up to you on how you want to do it, but my point is that you want to really experiment with breaking the creatives out on what works for each placement. I hope that makes sense. And for some of you that maybe lone wolves and you haven't got time to kind of do any of this type of stuff and you haven't got the creative team behind you, although it's not hard, where there's a will, there's a way. If you just want to start somewhere, then always, it's always the Facebook mobile newsfeed is the best place to get started because it's the fastest, it's the simplest, and we know that you're always going to get leads, and it's going to work relatively well for you out of the gate. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video today. Please give us a like so we know to create more videos like this. Please comment below if you've got any questions about Instagram versus Facebook and we can help in any way. And also smash that subscribe button if you do want to find out. I'll be the first to know when we create more content in the Flexxable channel. What I would say as well is that we've got a free game plan on how to run a pay-per-lead agency. Actually, you don't even need any ad spend to get started. It's a really great game plan. You're going to love it. It's different to what everyone else is doing. It's good stuff. Click the link. You'll find it somewhere below and enjoy. Take care.